We've done the driving video with the W115 up here. You can check that out on the channel. And for now, we're going to do the rest of this road in a talking POV. Beautiful, beautiful, very interesting yellow color, sort of like a bit of an offish yellow. I find with the white, with the silver rims and the body painted center, it just looks fantastic. Not rims, these are hubcaps. Mercedes-Benz created this engine to have a lot of low down torque. It's encouraging short shifts because of all that torque. The carburetor wasn't set out for performance, for top speeds, even though this will do 170 kilometers per hour. Numbers didn't matter back then as much as they do nowadays. Unfortunately, it was really about the longevity of the creation rather than the instant gratification that nowadays will grab the headlines just for a short while until the next thing comes and tops it. As amazing as it is nowadays, being able to hold towards the horizon to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.5 seconds, I beg to ask you, how often do you actually use those performance capabilities? Are you going to do 0 to 100 in 2.5 seconds with your family in the car, with your partner or your child? Will you be doing it between traffic lights where there are pedestrians and other cars? The answer to that very often is yes, I know, because I've been doing exactly the same thing. But the older you get in life, the more you realize that maybe that's not the cleverest thing to do. Because if anything goes wrong, the amount of wrong is just so much bigger. The more powerful and the faster the car, the greater the potential and the risk for something going wrong. I'm absolutely not against fast cars and powerful cars. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing my job with Porsche and with Novitec. And if you guys want to check out some of those things, driving supercars, then check out the Novitec group on YouTube. You can see myself and Maurice driving 1,000 horsepower cars over there. But all the more so, this is not a contradiction to that channel. It's that which causes the balance. And I've learned in life that everything, the good of everything is really found in the balance. And this creates that balance. Not because it's slow, but because the timing is just right. Somehow when cars don't get to 100 fast, we say, oh, it's so sluggish. But we don't comment when grandma cooks something for half a day in the oven and then it tastes amazing. Good things take time. This will take its time. 0 to 100, 13.7 seconds. And quite frankly, even 20 years ago, for many entry-level cars and sort of mid-range entry-level cars, that wasn't a bad figure. But this is 50 years old. I think it's impeccable. It's really good. But the car wasn't made for that. The steering is a little bit on the soft side, just like the suspension. But remember, perhaps it was made in a time where the quality of the road wasn't the same as it is nowadays. Perhaps it was made for a time where it was more about the comfort and you getting to your destination rested and happy and not. That is huge on the back of the truck. And not being completely depleted. I would bet my good money that if you would do the same journey on a certain stretch of road with this car as you would in a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, you would arrive more rested in this. Guys, I'm not in the game of saying what is good and what is bad. What is good and what is bad? Isn't it a matter of opinion and taste? So why should we always differentiate? Why should it always be likes and dislikes? It's personal opinion. And personal opinion should, to a great extent, be respected. I just think this is superb. I think a well-balanced life means that in your garage of everything in life, you've got Lamborghinis and classic cars. Sometimes life asks you to go quick, and sometimes it doesn't ask you anything, and you can just chill, just relax, take a slow and easy one. And when you do, this is going to be very, very rewarding, because it honestly just is. We're doing 60 through this corner. I bet you can go through here at double the speed. The car will be leaning like a shelf in an earthquake, ready to tip over, but it won't. These cars have impeccable road holding qualities and capabilities, far greater than we can actually imagine, far greater than I think many of us will trust ourselves to push them to. Truth is, they can, and they will, but they don't have to. They certainly don't elicit that kind of driving. But it's really amazing once you see their incredible capabilities. I'm going to swing around over here, because then we can do the Okarpseweg road up again. And I have the sneaky suspicion that traffic is going to compound a little bit on the other side. But by that time, we would have had an incredible and amazing little cruise. So back to the effortlessness. Back to the fact that these cars don't beg you to rev them high up. 2.3 litre engine producing 110 horsepower and 186 Newton meters of torque. Funny enough, from 2,400 RPMs. Wow. Do you know what that's very similar to? It's the exact peak torque RPM from the 2.4 litre diesel in the W123 with a 4-speed manual gearbox, in the W115 with the 2.4 litre diesel, it's 2,200 RPMs if I'm not mistaken, and there you've got your peak torque. Those are diesel engines. This is a petrol. So having all of that meat right down and the low RPMs is fantastic. Look, 70 kilometers per hour, driving uphill. And as you guys can hear through the perished rubbers from the African sun, the wind crawling into the interior here, she's just running up this hill like there's all tomorrow. What never ceases to amaze me is how Mercedes has managed to create a certain sense of a driving feel, a sense of speed, a sense of power, a sense of agility that does not bear complete, that does not relate completely to what it says on your speedometer. In other words, you might feel like it's the right time to shift to 4th gear, and I'm not even doing 50 kilometers per hour. Wow. Now, the other day I thought, well, let me try that in my modern car at home, and I realized that I can also do that. But then I also saw that my car had 6 gears. This is the top gear. It has a lot of torque, and it's very comfortable just cruising with that, effortlessly, not straining. And when your revs aren't up, there's a lot less noise agitation, if you want to call it that penetrates this interior, or for that matter, anybody else enjoying the exterior. In the same way that you could be feeling like you're going faster than you're actually going, according to the speedometer. In the W124 that I have at home, the 230e in Germany, it sometimes does the opposite. I need to chill down because the car is so smooth at sailing forward. You become oblivious to the fact that you might just be going over the speed limit. Either way, these older classic Mercedes demand a greater involvement pertaining to the driving experience. You need to consider your shifts, you need to consider your braking points, you need to consider when you turn the wheel, and thereby there's a lot more consciousness. I recently listened to a motorcycle driver saying that you cannot not be conscious and not be 100% aware when driving a motorcycle. You're always aware and conscious of your environment because you're in it. There's no border between you and the outside world. It's an illusion thinking that there is a border, because quite frankly, your presence and space in the now, in this around you, has just taken on a slightly different form. Whether you're sitting on a bicycle, on a motorcycle, or encapsulated in a vehicle, it's simply that you've got this thing on your right and left that you close, and then all of a sudden you don't really notice your exterior as much. But you're still there. You're not separate from it. If you do something silly here, you will crash into that mountain or off the side. You're not exempt from that. Modern day cars sometimes have the gift, the ability, but also sadly the ability to really separate us from our environment. That's something people pay for, and that's fine, that's their prerogative, and I think it depends on what kind of a journey you're on and what you want to achieve. If you work hard and you want to relax, then a smooth, comfortable ride home without too much noise is a great thing. If you go out on a Sunday and you want to experience your car in a nice area, nice drive, perhaps you do want to hear the engine, you do want to hear the sound of nature and trees wishing by you. These old cars, they give me both. And as we realized, you have to be gentle. You have to feel them. You have to dance to the rhythm of the mechanical song. It's not a get in and step on it. You allow it to warm up and get comfortable, and then you guys go onto the dance floor and you do your thing. And it'll reward you. There's a beautiful reward, good balance when you have mechanical sympathy. I think it's mechanical sympathy that's actually brought these cars to where they are now. That, from the many owners, and the fact that they were just incredibly well designed. If you look at the fauna and flora over here, you see a lot of trees blackened out, no leaves, and that is because of fires. We have incredible problems with fires out here in South Africa, in the Western Cape area. This kind of fauna and flora is called fynbos, which is directly translated very fine bushes. It's a specific kind of fauna and flora, and the weird thing is that it actually needs the fires to perpetuate its growth, and it's part of its cycle. Sadly, we humans tend to be less aware of how special the environment around us is. And people are easily chucking out a cigarette butt or a glass bottle or anything as such out of their window. And something as simple as a piece of glass can ignite a fire. And because of the tremendous winds that we have here in South Africa in the Western Cape, fires spread like you cannot believe it. Hence people saying it spreads like wildfire. So I've extended this video up till now in order for you guys to see this view. This is coming down on the other side of the Ou Kaapse Weg. That side is Noordhoek. This side is the Cape Town side. with Musenberg and the false bay, and then the flat part that reaches all the way in front of Table Mountain until you get to Bloberg Beach, which is also where we filmed the W126 or the C126 380 SE, the V8 Coupe. What a beautiful drive this is in a car that's celebrating its 50th birthday. Oozing competence from every bit of metal and rubber put together with combustion and oil and fuel doing its thing in perfect timing and harmony and allowing us to propel forward in this joy of an automobile. Gently using the engine to brake a little bit, applying the foot brakes ever so now and then. It is just beautiful. The suspension on this W115, particularly soft. You'd almost think it's worn, but then the ride quality isn't. It's like it's whispering a message of "I've still got it." Because these cars are, and understand the terminology of me saying uneventful, because they are uneventful in their driving, it's only when the expectancy has been diluted to the extent that you realize you still need to do the drive. And now things become effortless, and sophisticated, and relaxed, and balanced, and comfortable. And all of a sudden, what you didn't notice, and what kind of felt like it was lethargic, becomes the very dialect of conveying you to your destination, getting you there well rested. I thank you very much for joining me on this drive, on this talking POV. I wish you guys a lovely, lovely rest of the week. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It would be really awesome. It helps me get seen by YouTube and gives me a bit more credibility to do more films like this. Also, drop me some stories, some comments, some thoughts, some ideas, some anecdotes, anything that is of value down in the comments. I read all of them. I love hearing what kind of experiences you guys have had with these cars. Thank you so much. Until next time, namaste.